Hello guys, welcome back to the next one. From this one, we will start talking about automation frameworks. So until now, we were writing Selenium WebDriver test directly into the Python classes. But from now, we will specifically do something really intuitive and really creative to make up frameworks. Let me just bring up the small PowerPoint presentation that I created for you guys. And let me put into the slideshow mode. Just a sec. Alrighty. So till now, as I said, we were just writing test cases directly into the Python classes. And we were specifying the locators, the test cases, and the steps all into one class, same place. This is kind of good to start. However, as we progress on, adding more test suites and more test cases, it's going to become so much difficult to manage and maintain everything that our test cases are going to be so much brittle and fragile. We will not be able to maintain them. So developing maintainable and reusable test code is important for us to sustain our test automation, and the test code should be treated like as a production code of the development, and it should be following the similar standards, the patterns that we pretty much do for the development code. Then what is those things, right? This is what the framework is. We want to maintain a reusable code, we want to maintain a standard, we want to maintain that we can reuse all the things that we have implemented and we are not duplicating efforts. But other than that, few other things also come into picture, that it defines the way of doing things, defines the way of coding, it defines the common and structured standard of coding throughout the team or throughout the company. So every member of the team should be following the same standards. There should be very less differences in types and the standard of the coding. It should be all same. What happens? It increases the speed and accuracy of automation process. It's going to give us a lot of benefits. So when we talk about frameworks in the field of GUI automation, the Selenium WebDriver automation, there's one thing which is very much popular and very common, which is called page object model or page object pattern. It is one of the highly used patterns among the Selenium community to structure all the test cases, and it helps in making them separate from low level actions like clicking on the button or finding the button on a web page. It just separates out from the test cases, and it provides us a very high level abstraction. It's really awesome. So as I'm explaining, it's a design pattern to structure the test cases. What we should follow? We should have one page class for every web page in the application, and the page class should contain all the web elements of the page and all the actions that are performed on those web elements. So the page object pattern, it offers us like creating objects representing all the web elements and performing actions on them. What are the advantages of creating page objects? Let's talk about the advantages, because that's the most important thing. We want to understand why are we doing something if there's no advantage, right? So it helps us in making our code cleaner and easy to maintain. Tests are more readable, more flexible, and more maintainable, because any changes that we want to make in terms of locators or elements, we should be making in the page classes. Test should be untouched. When there's some change that is affected the page class, we should just go ahead and change in page class, and test should still run the same way. We should not be changing tests a lot. And obviously, reusable code, it's going to reduce a lot of code redundancy. Let's assume the scenario that I have a page element, maybe some login element, and I need to use it in 10 test cases. Rather than writing that in 10 different test cases to find that element, the line to find the element, driver.find element, I would just write it in one single method that exists in my page class, and I would use it in all the test cases. So I'm not repeating any code, I'm reducing the redundancy. I'm just using the same thing from one place written. One more advantage of this is, if it's changed at some point, I just need to make the change in one single place. I'm not changing in 10 different test cases. All test cases should still stay the same, and only my one place where my element was found and the action was performed that is going to be changed. So it's going to really be very helpful for the long-term sustainable code. It helps in shorten the learning curve also for the testers, and it helps QA teams meet timelines, because if the code is more readable, it's more understandable, it's more neat and clean, everybody understands it quickly. Even the new engineers joining the team, they can grab it quickly. So it helps in lot of different ways. Alrighty, now let's talk about what is the kind of a real-time example that we're going to look at in this particular section, and there could be multiple sections. So let's see what we're going to do. So first we're going to go to the login page. So I have to minimize it in order to show you, because I just don't want to go over the presentation. I want to show you what we're going to do. So let's talk about it. So we're going to go to the login page, and we're going to try the login with valid credentials, and we will try one login with invalid credentials, and we will verify if the error message is present. And where we're going to go to the login page, I'm talking about my own website. So we will use for our framework building, we will come to the main page, then we will go to the login page, and then we will try one invalid credential and one valid credential. So if I do invalid credential, I want to verify that this message shows up. And if I do valid credential, then I want to verify that I'm able to log in. Simple. So we will do these two test scenarios on the login page. Then we will do one more scenario for our course page. So what we will do is we will log into the website. So I'm going to use one of the test user that I created and log in. Once I log in, what I want to verify here is I want to verify if I can search for the courses. So I'm going to search for the JavaScript course, and I'm going to verify there's only that course displayed with the correct name. So the course is displayed with the correct name. That's something that I want to verify. So if I search this, so I'm going to verify that this is the only course that's displayed, and it has the correct name, and my search is working fine. So this is one of the functionality. There are a lot of things on the pages. You can filter the category and filter the author and all those things, but we will just focus on some portion of the functionality, because the goal is not to test my own website. The goal is to demonstrate you how the framework should look like, how we put the elements in the page classes, how we utilize those things. So the goal is that. Then we will do a complete workflow. The complete workflow means we will search for the course as we just did it, and then we will click on it, click on the course. So I'm just going to click on the course, and then the action here is mainly there are a lot of things to verify. If somebody wants to verify, I mean, there's no point in verifying the text, so there's no point in doing that, but there are a lot of things that we can do. So but what we will do is we'll go for the workflow to enroll in the course. So I'm going to click on this enroll in course button. Once we reach to the payment page, what we will do is we will enter the payment information, obviously a fake or invalid information. We don't want to buy the course here. We are just trying to go over a workflow and see how we do a checkout application kind of thing, because all other checkout applications are like Amazon also, they have the same thing. The flow could be completely different. I agree. It could be adding to the cart, it could be doing something else, then continue shopping, then go to the payment, enter your lot of information, but essentially they're the same thing. We're going to enter the payment information, and then we're going to click enroll. So in this one, it's super easy. It doesn't ask you for shipping address and all those things. It just asks you for the card number and all. So we will provide some invalid card number, something, and we will hit enroll in course, and we will just verify that the message shows up, because we are not enrolling really. So this is the kind of a flow that we will do. Stay tuned guys, because it's going to be a great ride, great journey. You will get to know the first-hand experience of how to write a framework, how do we put everything in the utility classes. We will create utility classes, we will create page classes, we will create test classes, and a lot of things we will do. And yeah, we will only cover the page object model. There are so many other frameworks also, like Hybrid, keyword driven and all, but I specifically like this one. This is the most common one and it's the most used one. The other frameworks comes with a lot of baggage, and this is the most effective one. So that's the main reason that I want to use it. This is most effective and most efficient. So this is the framework that we're going to cover in this tutorial, page object model. Stay tuned guys, and I'll see you in the next lectures. Thanks for learning this one.